currency is worth different in different places. So it's like what yen is worth there is different than what, the dollar, the USD is worth here, or a peso, whatever the case may be. And if you are yen trying to operate where they take pesos, it's like you valueless. And a lot of men find themselves in that predicament because you're trying to display your worth. Oh, I'm worth 100. It's like, not here. What's going on is The Wolf, and we are back with another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast, America's fastest growing podcast. The universe's fastest growing podcast. We encourage y'all to get 1% better every single day and every single way. And I'm extremely excited as always because I'm joined by my guy, my co-host, Mr. One and Only, HR, in the building, in the flesh, Mr. Right on Q Live.
Yes, sir.
And a big shout out to our sponsors, man, Her Fantasy Box. Make sure to go shop with them, get their products, ladies. Get it for yourself. For your girlfriend. Sometimes y'all be knowing your girlfriends be needing it. And this ain't no slight or no shame, but if y'all want to be getting them gifts, get them thoughtful gifts. Like, if you don't got the courage to tell her pH a little, you feel what I'm saying? Then just come through with the, just come through with the body magic, the Renew Her, the slippery box, the yummy. You know what I'm saying? Go.
And the easy way to do it is like, girl, I've been using too. Like, I think
you should try. Yeah, everybody love a good recommendation. Come through with the recommendation. So it's like it's not as direct as like, yo, you want a mint, you need some gum, because that's like, you trying to say but it's more so like, this has been working for me. I think you should try it. You never know. So make sure you go shop with Her Fantasy Box, man. And I'm excited to be in Tampa. As always, go Birds.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's get into it, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, man.
It's enough about you. It's enough.
Yeah, it's fair. I was saying I'm good, and how are you?
Get the fuck out of here.
Anything interesting happen?
See what you did there.
Take notes.
What I will say was interesting was the fucking conversation we had that led up to these moments. I think that people don't know how important assessing and adjusting is, because you could be one minor adjustment away from fixing something, or one lack thereof of something completely crumbling, just being by you just lacking that awareness or that attention to detail to be able to assess and adjust. So I think that a lot of the times people look at us and they say, I fuck with the platform, but they really don't understand the amount of things that get presented for us to be able to sustain, right? And what amount of correction we have to make, the amount of humility we walk within, the self-awareness, the self-reflection, the team accountability, as well as in the self-accountability. So the interesting thing for me was the realization that I've come to about what's important to me. Because I feel like with success, it creates separation, right? And it's unintentional. It's not always intentional. Sometimes we see some great things that come to a halt or an end, and we be like, well, what the fuck happened? Why they was the best singing group ever, the best rap group, the best movie, the best series? Why? And people don't understand how many things and variables take place to keep that machine running. Like, we never really pay attention to the functions under the hood. You see a nice car, you be like, that's a nice ass fucking car. That's a nice Bentley. That's a nice this. That's a nice that. But you never really think about all of the work and wonders under that motherfucker that keep it going. And I think that when you understand how operations work, you know that all it takes for this one belt to go off and the fucking car won't start. The timing belt is like, oh shit, it's overheating because this one sensor went off, or the gas is burning because this is a hole in the fucking fuel pump. Like, it's so many different things that go under the hood that people don't get to see.
And ignoring it, how it can
get a big, you know what, fuck it, it's just a sensor. It's and then next thing you know, it's just all of that shit combined. And now you got a fucking hoagie or a lemon and the car just no longer work, or it's not as efficient, as effective. So what was interesting for me was me realizing that this shit was important to me, because I found myself just within success. For one, being transparent is like just kind of showing up and just doing what was required, not really thinking about how can we push it. It goes down to maximizing your potential. And I read a book by Miles Monroe, and he was a great, he articulated it great. I don't have the quotes from it, but just what I got from it, just a simple one of the things he said. Maximizing your potential.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Literally the name of it, maximizing your potential. And he was talking about like sometimes environments cause for us to do just enough to be the best in that space. So like I actually, utilized that concept in my book, The Art of Accountability, and I was talking about essentially not maximizing your potential, but kind of, sort of. And I was like, think about it. Asking yourself, are you really pushing yourself to your limits, whatever the case may be, where it's like, and that's what the title is called, pushing yourself past your limits. It's like if you want to average the most in your basketball team, this is my example, and the person averages 17, you get to 20, you average the most. Who's to say that you really couldn't average 30 though? But you didn't really push for 30. You really just pushed for 20 because it was the best in the environment. His example was a car. You on a highway, you doing 60 miles. You might be going faster than everybody who riding beside you, but the car really could go 180. Are you pushing the car to its maximum potential? So for me, being in a space of us becoming more and more successful, whether that be financially, whether that's internally as men, just in our own development, as well as in a platform, I found myself just starting to dilute my focus. Like, oh, we need to be doing this. We need to be doing that. We need to be doing this. And it was spillage. And so the interesting thing that happened was me returning to like center, like, oh, what actually is important to me? And it was like, all of those things I'm interested in. But when it comes down to what's more important to me, I realized that it's being able to have these conversations like this, deliver it to the people, and just in this space, like instead of showing up to set and dreading the process, like fuck, we got how many? It was never really that drastic,
Right.
but it's just I'm exaggerating, but it's just like in general, just showing up. All right, we gotta do. All right, let's just do that. Versus it being like that intentional effort. It's like when you've been married for so long, dating ain't as exciting. And then you get that spark back. You're like, you know what? I can't wait to take my girl out. I can't wait to take my wife out. I'm looking forward to that. And I feel like now that's what became interesting to me in this process, where like all of that stuff transpired to make me like, you know what? I can't wait to take my kids out. You and Ricky.
Yeah, I like that, and it tied into more of like marriage-minded conversations. We were talking about something before we started recording. But
anything interesting for you first before we go all the way in?
We'll get to that part later. But the idea of like, success, the hard part, the easy part is getting, the hard part is keeping, whatever.
Absolutely.
You can apply that ideology to anything, especially with relationships. Because because in the point that we spoke of before, like the idea of like you know what it takes to get there, but you never been here before. So now you got to figure out what it takes to not only stay here, and also if you want to go further, whatever. So I was thinking about that. Recently, my friends, we were discussing like, marriage or whatever. They was like, he waits to get married and start doing all this extra shit and da-da-da. And I was like, dead serious, like, I'm trying to stay married though. So I got to start retooling and stuff. For instance, I was joking talking about just like, us getting a bigger space. I'm just like, yeah, like, I think we need separate bathrooms. Like, I think let's try that out, whatever. Cause you know
my rule. Don't come in my bathroom.
Right. And it's like, yeah, we got here with this, but why is it a crazy idea? Like, now that we married, now we're trying to be together forever. Yeah. Let's maybe add a little more, comfort zones. And you be over there.
Especially knowing what your points are, your pain points.
Right. Instead of me being annoyed by you being junky and shit, how about you just have your own bathroom?
I won't even go in there.
Yeah, like
here in the sink, have a party. You know what I'm saying? Makeup on the sink, have a party. Like, who gives a fuck?
Right.
My toilet seat up. Don't come in here.
Right. Like literally every episode was like at night we wouldn't know that till we got here. Absolutely. And that's figure out some ways to, sustain that, whatever.
And shit, the same applies to the pod.
Right. Also, so we're talking about like, being a unit. You're big on being a unit, you come from siblings and this way, wolf pack mentality, this and that, whatever. And as you was talking, I realized, you know what? As you always say, me and Ricky, only child syndrome. And, me and my wife, she comes from a big family. And I don't know if she consciously lands on like pack unit, whatever. But, she's a girl and, it's all about aesthetics. So you're like, so I was thinking when we go in here, let's match and this and that. I'd be like, well, I wasn't really thinking. I was kind of just wearing what I wanted to wear. Though. It's like, but
I'm wearing purple, you wear green.
Yeah.
Who
like,
gives a fuck?
Yeah,
you look stupid.
But I was like, is she? Am I wrong?
Yes. I ain't gonna say you're wrong because that's extreme.
Okay, fair.
But I understand her point.
Yeah, and she be always kind of like, oh my god, why? I told we could wear blue. Why you just had to do? I'm like, but I like this black outfit. I wanted to wear.
So if I'm you, I would just have her match me because that's the easier fix. She wants to match. You want to wear what you want? Match me. I'm not matching you. Simple fix.
Why you can't match her?
I ain't say you can't. I said you saying you want to wear black.
Okay.
If you want us to match, go find something black to put on.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? I think that because I like matching. Like I like being in sync. like with my short. Like it get corny to me at a certain level. Like if it's too much, like the details is intertwining. Yeah. Like when I say corny, that's just like my variation of like just not my thing. Corny don't mean it's like a rule, like you can't do this. It's like it's just it don't look right on me. But if it's like I'm wearing like, you know, this tone and she come out with like, you know, or her bag is or her shoe, coordinated. I don't care to match, but coordinate absolutely, because I can't be wearing stripes. You wearing polka dots. We look stupid.
Well, that's still too on the nose, but I'd definitely be like, yeah, what kind of gives a fuck?
Nigga come out wearing brown while she wearing motherfucking purple.
One way we went to, I literally had
like the fucking Ravens.
All rivals. I got yellow, she got purple. Steelers, Ravens. She totally pissed off. I had an all black, then she ended up with like a some type of orange dress, some type of Auburn shit, whatever. And she was pissed off at me because I wasn't wearing something else.
Auburn is different. That's not even orange. That's like fucking burnt orange. That's like fall color. That's like the door. Yeah, I'll be pissed too, because that don't go with black. If you had regular orange, I'm like, Halloween, it could go. But Auburn, and you ain't got no type of pastel right now. No, you ain't got no all black. Bruh. But I get it.
Yeah, maybe I could be, better.
Like when I would wear leather pants, I remember my old girl, she'll wear some like leather pants. Like we do little shit, like it make it cool. I like it.
That's fair.
I'm the guy that's gonna do the Christmas pajamas for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I'm waiting to do all that corny shit.
Yeah, those are things the same way.
Yeah, nigga, don't see that shit. Like, no,
you like I see you in pajamas.
I can see you in pajamas. I'm next about you.
Let me take the picture. So those same way I look. I understand we can work on certain things. Like, let's do this for the agreement. I also like, I can do this for you as well. Adjust in your benefit as well, or to your liking.
I think that's dope.
Yeah. But to your point about things that interesting that happened recently. Recently I had to help my mom with a budgeting situation, whatever. And long story short, for the people, like, end of the day, as Wolf said a lot of episodes ago, just because she's a mom doesn't mean it's a different species. She's still a woman. She's still a woman. So, my
classic episode.
Yeah, like, my mom, she's single, whatever. No man, I have my own situation. So when she
had to double down like that. Single means no man. You don't gotta say single, no man.
Well, I was really more so talking about like she's formally married and she's not dating nobody.
I'm just bidding.
Fair. I know y'all rivals, so that's fair.
No, that's my dog. Yeah. Actually. Would she still be typing that?
Absolutely. I even showed this one last clip. She said, "This is how I come on the pod, nigga uppercut somebody."
But when I seen her in person, it was all hugs. Talk to me. Go back to the story.
Yeah, but point is, she's left her own device. She sold her house, then she moved over. We had a whole plan when she sold everything. This is the budget, mom. Put this in stocks, put this in savings, put this in over here to pay your rent for the whole next year. You're going to save this. So by the time next year comes, you got a whole the whole plan. So when it came down to it, she was talking about some money. She was like, yeah, I need money. I was like, how do you need money? I'm not understanding. And we realized that we never revisited the budget. Mm-hmm. So she was left on devices and the devices fucking were destroyed or whatever. And she wasn't saving shit. She was spending thousands of dollars every week on nothing, whatever. It was crazy. So I had to step up. All right, mom, we're going to do it this way. Do this. Let's kind of get in front of it. And I realized like, oh yeah, this is also that part of maturing as a child and as a man and a son. We're like, oh yeah, mom, like you need to do it this way. And I got you. I'm not going to just let you just do whatever,
budget.
Even though you my mom, like, and you still my mom, and children are always gonna respect and love their parents. Absolutely. But at a certain point, it is time to like guide them in a certain regard.
And I'm doing it with respect.
Exactly, always, yeah. And I know, you help with your mom, whatever. And what are some, another classic episode, cutting that umbilical cord. So talk more about that. Again, I feel like a lot of men, it's oftentimes men realize they need to be more of a man to step away from the mom, but what's that next stage of like circling back to realize I stepped away, but now also
show you I'm a man.
Yeah.
That's a good question. For me, it was I think I told you I cut that umbilical cord really like early on. It was like establishing boundaries. I think it's really looking at your mom and assessing her in a way like how you would look at you could solve a woman's problem that you're going to deal with. Mm-hmm. Look at what type of way can I solve my mom problem, because women want a soft life. They want things to be more easier to manage. And if I'm your son, I want to make sure that especially if your mom don't got a man, right? Mm-hmm. and if she don't have a man that's fulfilling that role, then how can I step in? So it's, of course, we know to do the simple shit like, let me go make sure my mom don't need her fucking grass cut or her fucking snow shoveled or her trash taken out. Like, that's the common thing that you just going home to continue to do your chores. But all right, let's take it a step further. What are the things that I became good at through school, knowledge, education, and experience that I can now utilize to help my mom in those ways? Financial management, whatever that case, maybe you create a stipend and say, you know what, all right, let me give my mom this, amount of bread because I can sustain and I can give her that. And this could be, her budget to do whatever she wants, whether it's treat herself to a spa day or go to the fucking casino. That's what my mom gonna do. She wanna go gamble or play the lottery or something. But it's like just having that in place and letting her know, like, yes, you my mom, but I'm a man. And because I'm a man, and if it's not a man that's in your life, then I'm going to fulfill the voids that I can fulfill that are sustainable for me in a way that doesn't allow you to be a burden on me, but it also doesn't allow you to feel like you still left to figure it out like I watched you do for so many years. Because I think that men think that if you can't get your mom a mansion, that you can't do nothing for her. And it's like, oh, it's mansion or nothing. It's like, no, it's so many things in between that you can do to become a better son. And one of the things that I encourage all men to do, and if you're watching this, I want you to understand, is like, find more ways, because as men, we are givers. The worst thing you could be as a man is selfish. Because we were prepared to protect and provide. That requires giving. You're giving yourself of something. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a man and you're not giving don't mean exploitation. It don't mean just give all your fucking money away, just sit here. No, it just means that somebody should be able to say, thank you, dad. Thank you, son. Thank you, bro. Thank you, babe. Thank you, homie. And it's like, create more ways to hear that as men. You should try to go through your day 5 to 10 times a day. You should want to hear, thank you, dad. Thank you, bro. Thank you, son. Thank you, babe. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever that look like. And that's how you'll know you could be. And it don't always cost money to do that. It's just literally walking around giving. Damn, you need assistance with that? You need some advice with this? You need some perspective on that? I do actually got the finance to help you with this. Do you need me to hang this up? You need me to... And if you walk around serving, this is how you stand in line with our purpose. A lot of the times we feel underappreciated and overutilized. And the reason is because we giving all of our resources to one thing. And we want our kids to, dad, thank you. We want that excitement. Thank you, dad, every day. Like, I'm so grateful, dad. Thank you for the sneaks. From your girlfriend or your wife. Thanks, babe. You the best man in the world. And it's like, after a while, it becomes expected because it becomes the standard. But if you giving that to your mom, your sisters, and all of the people, we're not talking about exploitation. We're not talking about wearing yourself thin. We're literally just talking about what you do for your family, your immediate family don't gotta go to your extended family for you to get that level of appreciation that you want from your immediate family. And if you stretch it a little bit farther than just the household and you get that appreciation, it'll be less pressure on your household to give you that appreciation. And that's why I always just believed in serving the women that's in my life, helping the homies, helping the men that's in my life, whoever that I can, helping the random strangers, whoever that I can be of service to. I be of service to because I know what appreciation and respect means to me. So if I can't get it strictly at the capacity that I like from the household, then it's okay to, create the moment to get, thank you, dad. Thank you, bro. Thank you, son. Thank you, babe. Thank you, my boy. You know what I mean? And those different situations will make you feel good. And it's fulfilling all day, every day type shit.
Yeah. And I've said this before, but I can acknowledge that I went through that like mental bout of, being younger. Like, yeah, I want to get my mom a big ass mansion, the big pink mansion and all that type of shit.
Mansion or nothing.
Yeah. And once I was older, and again, not saying that's impossible now as a current trajectory, but I realized, it is going to happen at the certain timeline I thought it would be, whatever. And what does that mean for me?
All his life ain't the era no more.
Right. What does that mean? And then as I get older, and then I have my own family, my own responsibilities, my own shit I'm trying to do, I realize, damn, how much do I even have left to give per se, whatever, and what would that even look like? Because again, of course, we was talking about, all right, make your wife part-time, make her PRN, or put her up at all together. I'm already trying to wrap my mind around that possibility of an overhead. Then like, wait, also my mom getting older, she got shit going on, whatever. So I got to think about that as well. Recently, my mom's talking about some shit with my grandma. Damn, also my grandma, like
it's becoming a man.
Yeah.
It's becoming a man of the family. I mean,
right. So. But to your point overall, so you want to get everybody a mansion, that's amazing. But also there are micro things that you can do that also just helps out everybody, and many people would appreciate in small ways, whatever.
Absolutely. Even as simple as not being a burden on your mom no more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that men often overlook. Like, you might can't get her a mansion, but just don't be living in her crib and eating up her food and, still asking her for money. That alone might save her fucking $6,000 to $12,000 a fucking year to do some extra shit with, just by you just positioning yourself to not have to say, Mom, can I? Can you? And it's like, this don't mean motherfucking go just fast track, try to get some hustle money. It just means just work yourself into a predicament to be able to stand on your own too, so that if she do need to call you, she can. But most and foremost, you don't have to call her. You got the capacity to solve your own problem. problems. What you about to say?
I would say also to that point about some of my mom's dads. I was gonna give another update with the saga of my pops. We went through a situation where we was kind of a little estranged, a little bit whatever, and now we circled back. And I was going to circle back to that update because I think I said last time, like I took the onus of realizing that
you could be better.
I could be better because like I have certain natural skill sets that also would
that fit the situation.
Yeah. So it's like, if my dad isn't maybe necessarily, if we older and I'm not just having to fly to you for the kid's season with his dad, now we've grown, and I realized, oh no, we just two adults now, and who is more of the natural conversation, who is maybe 100%. More so, all right, that's me, why am I necessarily just holding against you because that isn't your wheelhouse or whatever. Like, and that doesn't absolve my dad, whatever.
Absolutely. It's just saying I'm gonna take the initiative.
Right. And long as, which he is, whatever he was, I suppose, during that time, long as he's open to it and receptive to it, then we're really talking about that. So that is the reason thing, we've been, building things back up, whatever. It's cool. And he also stood on the result. You know what? Fair, and also I can be better in these ways, and he's also been taking initiative to do that as well.
That's the idea, though. That's hitting it on the money. It's like if I show up and say, you know what, I can correct these things about me and show up in a relationship, and you correct those things about you and show up in a relationship, we should be good. That's transparent across the board.
For sure. Yeah. Shifting gears though, a while ago we was talking about how men suck at being single, and it might be a generational thing. Who knows? Our generation, we don't like saying it, but people say it's the dating pool is such thing, whatever. But so, what are your thoughts? As we always say,
I think what I've been
realizing, but being single.
No, I'm gonna tell you what I came to realize. Right? Yeah, I agree. That's still saying. I think when I say men suck at being single, it's just like not taking that time to get yourself right. When I say suck at being single, like no, you know how to get some chicks, you know how to be outside, you know how to do that. But when it comes to locking in on you as a single individual to make yourself better, I feel like men need to improve in that way. But what I will say, and I think that society, it fucked up the generation because for some reason I think women think that single is equal for us and them. They don't understand that single only benefits us. It don't benefit them. All of their benefits come behind being in a relationship. Because the thing about it is, if I get to operate single and I get to fuck around with a girl, I have no obligation to her. So that means I get to pick and choose if she's a responsibility, is she a priority, if I want to do these sad things, whether it's court her, whether it's date her, whether it's fuck her. You know what I'm saying? All of these things come down to my choice. Now, she might think that I could choose the same things, but ultimately, if we get in a relationship, it becomes my obligation to take care of you. It becomes my obligation to protect you, where though, as being single, I don't have to offer you that. And I get to have my way in multiple different ways, whereas though, although they can try to have their way in multiple different ways, it's not typically sustainable because once they get a favorite one, they typically try to hone in and lock in on him and try to get him to commit in ways that if he's single, he don't have to. So they think that, oh, well, if the things that they gain come behind being in a relationship, then they will understand that all the things we give come behind being in a relationship. Every man in the world is okay with being single because ultimately most men get in relationships to get what they want from a woman. But if they get what they want from a woman while being single, while not having to give a woman what she's supposed to get back in return, who's really getting the better end of the stick? And it's one of the things where it's like, I only bring this to the surface because I really think that women have it in their mind that like single seasons benefit us equally. Oh, well, you gonna do you, I'm gonna do me. I'm telling you, sis, you're not getting a good deal. It's not a good deal. It's not a good deal to not know what man gonna lay down with you. It's not a good deal to not know who you can call if you catch a flat. It's not a good deal to know who you can call if you need to talk, need to release, need to vent, or need a problem solved that a man has to solve. And it's not a good deal to have to use your own money to do so. The relationship gives you that package. You got a man you can call when you need something. You got a man you can call to vent. You got a man you can call when you feel like you're trapped and can't figure it out, or you feel in danger. You have a man you can call. When you're single, you got to go through your Rolodex. It's only fun when you're trying to get your nails done, when you're trying to get your hair done, when you're trying to work each individual to get certain benefits. But when it comes down to the real nitty, you said what?
Of a total package.
Of a total package. When it comes down to the real nitty gritty, this is like a la carte. Versus just having that entire package just at your disposal, just being able to go in your toolbox and say, I can call my man for this. I can call my man for that. You got to figure out what man you can call versus just calling your man. Whereas though a man is okay with calling her for head, her for sex, her for that, because at the end of the day, I'm calling y'all on my time when I feel like I don't have to hear your word, your mouth. I don't got to deal with your energy. I don't got to deal with your ups and downs, your this, your that. It's just when I feel like it. And there's no obligation, nor do I even have to respect the space that we operate in because we don't share one. So it's like, I'm a man right now. I could say this from just seeing it. It's like, I don't have a chick that I have to do nothing for if I don't want to. So I get to be that. Like, oh, you need your hair done? All right. You need that? All right. But I don't have to pay your bills. I don't have to do this. Whereas though, you giving me that in return, but at the same time, when you run into a real jam, it's still up to me if I want to come through for you or not. So the relationship, y'all should be striving to be in a relationship, because that's when you get more out of a man than you ever going to get from being single. You might got more men doing less shit that make you feel like you getting a compilation, but the buffet is never better than a home cooked meal, ever.
Depends on the home cooked meal.
Depends on the cook. But if we talking about a girl with a good hand, I'm taking a girl with a good hand. So in theory, again, the buffet, that shit, there's no love put in it. That's what I mean by it. It's just, you just slapping a big ass tray of food in a fucking sterner, and it's like, serve yourself. Everybody just everybody hands in it, they breathing over it, all types of shit. Everybody got access to it. Versus somebody bringing you that plate. Or that plate that was in the microwave wrapped up for you when you got off. It's nothing like it. So like I said, the buffet would never be better than home cooked meal. Y'all carrying yourselves like y'all want to operate on a buffet because it's all you can eat. But in reality, it's like, what could you really take home?
Why do you think people tend to be, I don't know if you want to think men or women do it differently. Why do people tend to be jealous of, the grass is greener in a relationship, single relationship when?
You sound like we want to be them, they want to be us.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the person, but I wouldn't say jealous. I think it's envy, right? But not the envy that's like the negative envy. It's like that envy that's like the innocent envy. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's like the thing. I was like, damn, if only you don't know, you got it good over that side. You married? I would love to have a wife, and then the nigga's married, like, yo, she be burning me the fuck out. Then if the man that's married, that's like, damn, boy, I would love to just be able to do what I want when I want. I'm like, nigga, but I don't got no girl on my emergency contact list. It's my mom. So it's like, it's always gonna be that
home cooked meal.
I don't got a home cooked meal. I cook myself, but who wants to do that, right? So it's like, it's always gonna be that give or take. And being recently in a relationship and now being single, I just was like, when I was in my relationship, the thing is, I never had a desire to be single, because me personally, I'd rather be in a relationship. But I also, it's a certain type of single. I missed the freedom of being able to get up and go. That's it. Like, I gotta fucking consult with you. I just want to go fucking film. Why the fuck we gotta talk about this shit? That's what I missed. Just being able to fucking go to fucking Chick-fil-A and it'd be $11. Give me an extra fry, 12, bet. Versus it being 46 because I gotta pay
extra fry.
I gotta get the extra fry. You know what I'm saying? Versus me being single because I wanted to be with chicks, whatever the case may be. But now being single, I don't look at relationships when I want to rush into one. But ultimately, I understand the stability that you look like as a man when you have that. Me being a purpose-driven man, it shows good that I'm able to sustain in different ways if I'm able to sustain in a relationship, lead in a family. And it just give you day-to-day practice on leadership. Because every day you problem solving, every day you course correcting, every day you assessing and adjusting, and it increases your capacity and bandwidth to be able to deal with things. The men that typically want out is the men that never wanted in. So it's like, they wanted in, and then it's like the shit ran its course, and they just kind of in it. And then the man that want in, typically it's be from a hopeless romantic side. It's like a projecting type of romanticizing of what they think it'll be like, not accounting for the headaches that might come in a relationship. They only account for the fact that the good shit. And like, you got to find that middle ground of, okay, I want to feel free while being in a relationship. Free don't mean I'm going to do what I want, fuck around. It just means I want to feel like I'm not in your cage while we in this space together. And I think that that's a middle ground that married men shouldn't feel like they're in a cage, and single men shouldn't go into a relationship or a marriage feeling like, oh, it's gonna be all peaches and cream. It's like, yo, I know that's gonna come with some bullshit, but I want the bullshit that'll come with.
Got it. Earlier you made me think about something else where you were talking about just, debunking certain shit women say. So the idea that, oftentimes women, submission is always a hot topic amongst men and women, and they all will say they will submit. Yeah, but then it don't really be seeming like that. They say
submission not an option.
Yeah, so.
But I also tell you, what I think that women go through problems with boys and take it out on men. So I think that all of the things that they unwilling to do for a man is because of all of the things that they try to do for a boy. Like, the thing is, because unfortunately a lot of our women have come up, in fatherless households, and a lot of our men have come up in fatherless households. And the example of what it would look like for a woman to not be in control has never really been set, because we have all seen our woman of the matriarch of the family being in control, the mom of the house, the grandma. Is always that authority that's just like that maternal figure. So it becomes normal to see, right? So for a man, that creates more boys. Like, if you're a boy, you stay a boy because grandma gonna make sure you got it. Grandma, baby, could do what you want. Mama's boy, whatever. For a girl, it's like, I'm getting ridiculed and scolded for, you not wanting me to do what the fuck you did. So now you super duper tough on me while you being super duper soft on him. And then that dynamic meet each other in the world. And it's like, you want to choose what he can and can't do. And he kind of damn near okay with it because his confidence is shot behind the fact that that's how he was brought up. But the fact of when it becomes an issue is when they want to see that man develop. But it's like, if he do develop, you can feel like you raised them. You don't raise somebody into respect. The man gotta kind of force, even with a mom. It's like, you had to make your mom respect you. When she took care of you, raised you, put you in a certain predicament. So now with these boy type problems where you gotta solve his problems, you gotta get up and motivate him, you gotta clean up behind him, you gotta make him do all of this shit. Then you meet a man that's the total opposite. And you take all of what you didn't get from the boy out on a man that came ready, prepared, that did have that example, or worked himself to be the man that he needed to be to kind of facilitate the space. And now there's a fucking fencing match. There's a battle and a tug of war for him to have what he should have been due to, which is the jurisdiction to lead and run the family until he proved that he wasn't capable. So they taking all their frustrations out. They anger, their lack of patience, their lack of grace is all from the shit that they gave to a boy, because it's easier for them to deal with a boy because he on their terms. But when you gotta deal with a man, it's like, shit, it's not my way. Oh shit, I gotta respect you. Oh shit, there's boundaries, there's restrictions. Oh yeah, no, something wrong with you. I don't know what the fuck going on. You toxic. You a manipulator. You're a fucking narcissist. You all of this bad shit, because I'm not used to this. I'm used to being able to tell you what I want when I want, and you supposed to listen to me because that's what I'm okay with. Mm-hmm. And you making me uncomfortable. So because I'm uncomfortable, it must be wrong. You the toxic one. And that's a problem that was developed with boys. And now you bringing it to a man. And then as men, we problem solvers, we trying to work through it. This is how we get up in a toxic dynamic, because she has to come ready to become a woman for a man, not a mother to a boy.
And that's why I guess the situation will end up being like, they'll say, oh, I need a leader, then I'll submit. But then once they meet a leader, they can't submit. Absolutely not.
Because now it's like, you don't even know what they look like. Mm. It's like a motherfucker like, yeah, man, I'm gonna start paying my bills on time when I become a millionaire. It don't happen that way. You typically develop the habit and then you get the result. You don't get the result and then develop the habit. And I think that's the part they understand. Like, I'll submit when I find a leader. It don't work like that. Mm-hmm. But as a man, I say submission is not an option. Mm-hmm. And when I say it's not an option, it's like, I don't have to have that conversation. A woman typically comes around me and realizes that I'm pretty much solid on what I got going on. And it's like, either you on it or you ain't. And it don't mean it's my way or the highway. It just means that women would love to turn their brain off. They would absolutely love to be in fucking, the two lands that they love to operate in is La La Land, turn their brain off, and Lulu Land. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just that simple. So they gonna tell themselves that it's romance and it's fairy tales and that's Lululand. La La Land is, I don't even know what the fuck going on. Mm-hmm. Actually seen a girl in La La Land yesterday. I was on the plane train. She just had her head on her fucking man shoulder while they was on the drone. He all trying to figure out what stop to get off, all this shit. She ain't got a fucking care in the world. They love it there. Mm-hmm. So it's not an option. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is be steadfast enough with yourself as a man and know enough about what you need to know enough about for them to just instantly turn their brain off. Mm-hmm. The thing about it is get them to turn it back on. Because then now we find ourselves like, what the fuck? You got 4 degrees. You can't figure what the fuck you calling me for, babe? I just got to the light and it's blinking. Go through it. Why the fuck is you calling me about the light that's blinking and you a fucking doctor? Like, I don't get it. But they get so comfortable in being in La La Land that when they got to go into the world without you, like, oh shit, I got to think. Yeah. So, I think that the submission is not an option. You just got to become somebody that's like, know what you on. You got to know yourself, go to know your journey, know your path, and that makes it easier to decide what woman would fit that. And they tend to be able to recognize that. Like, they come around certain men and they know there's a man in the room. So if you feel like that push, it don't mean that. So this is the sucky part. Because you can be a man, and when she get comfortable with you as a man, because women are creatures of evolution, she can start to forget that. And now she might challenge you. It ain't personal. That's just them. And that's why we just gotta always evolve just to stay a step in front of them. Because if we can't lead them, then they not gonna submit. If we can't be out in front and be like, I've done this, I know this, I'm on this, then 9 times out of 10 they're gonna find somebody else to do it. And this is like think about it. When we talk about women being single versus men being single, think about how many voids a woman has to fill. She wanna get in shape. Who's she gonna hire?
Trainer.
And typically he is a what trainer?
Yeah.
Need her car fixed, but she gonna find.
Mechanic.
She needs something put together. We know some Barbara the Builders out there, but the average woman, she's gonna hire somebody to task right, whatever the case may be. Where though a man could literally just fill all those voids. Literally. So it's like, think about how much money a woman is exerting to be single, to maintain her independence, but how many men she got to pay to rely on, to hope that they got her best interest at heart. Instead of just being right within self to find a man that love her enough to do all these things with the package to have his best interest at heart. Let's flip the coin. A man feel like, oh, I can't call a woman when I need a woman, but you got 20 women. So it's like, yeah, I know you're not really locked in with none of them for you to even trust them in a way to kind of open up in a way for it to be that space of, yeah, I can put her as my emergency contact. because you giving them bare minimum, so they're giving it to you in return. And it's like, that's where the level of maturity has to step into place, where it's like, we talk about being single, but how much does it cost us to be single? Every time I gotta go on a date with a new chick, what's your favorite color? What's this? I'm tired of that shit. But it's costing me anywhere from $0 to hundreds of dollars just for this data. Then when I go home at night, I might not even get nothing in return from it. It might just be the data, or whatever the case may be. So it's way more sustainable, even though we paying triple and double the mill when we going out when we in a relationship. You making no progress when you going out with 20 different women that go not past the first date. And for a woman, it's like, yeah, you might feel like, yeah, I could do what I want. I don't have to need a man for nothing. But at the same time, you got to pay 7 or 8 different men that all probably do want to sleep with you. And you're not even getting a protection and a provision that will come with just having a man. So, the people have to identify what single cost. What does it cost you to be single? Fuck what you think you gain. Let's flip the perspective in that way and start thinking about what it costs you. But what you saying, going back to the whole submission thing, and it's not an option. That's just really come down to it.
Also, I'm gonna say, yeah, and again, back to like realizing I can be like a better leader in certain spaces, because it's those unanticipated brain turn off moments that you didn't account for in the culture. It's like, then I'd be like, but her brain be off. So I could have or should have accounted for it in this moment being off. Yeah. And that's why I fucked up.
But that is a possibility.
Yeah, that's why I fucked up. We was late, or this happened, or she didn't do it. I'm like, oh shit.
They're going to do it.
Yeah.
They're going to do it. Especially but I think it's a compliment more than it's an insult. If a woman thinking all day, that's an insult to me. If you baby, you should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, that's an insult to me. When she in fucking la la land, her brain don't work and she don't know what's left from right, I'm like, as much as I'm mad that you on some fucking dippy shit,
at the light not going through it,
I could appreciate the fact that you trust me enough to be dippy around me. Because dippy is good for a woman. If a woman is in survival mode, that's when she an analyzer, a fucking observer, she got to be a problem solver. When she in fucking la la land and she dippy, Deborah the dippy. Now I don't want to put all this smother. I don't know what Deborah, but I'm just saying, just dippy Dab or whatever the case may be. That mean that she trusts you as a leader. That mean that she's in the safest fucking place possible because she has nothing to think about. She over there thinking about Sephora versus fucking Ulta and motherfucking bathing suits, and it's the fucking wintertime. It's like your brain is just on anything, but she not looking up, not saying nothing. That's a fucking compliment. You should strive to get her to fucking dippy land. Like, you know what I'm saying? We giving out first class passes to La La and Lululand.
Merlin. Also another thing you mentioned, like growing up in fatherless homes.
That stepdad too, though, for the record.
Yeah, fair. Same with me.
Yeah. Fortunately for us.
Yeah, and I've realized two of those stuff put together. I realized in recent years, now I'm older, like the impact of not having more men in my family, and just like because my granddad, he was on some shit, so he was never part of our family, whatever. So my grandma, matriarch, this and that, whatever. And my grandma, she's crazy. So it is what it is. So love her to death, whatever. But she's crazy, and then the craziness trickle down on everybody, whatever. And then my mom being a big personality, whatever. And my stepdad was around since I was 7. My dad was been life, but he was different state, whatever. 100%. And then even though my stepdad was always this macho man, handyman, fix the world, this and that, whatever. Now I'm older and I understand relationships and shit like that. I realized that he really didn't run things though.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So as much as he was this alpha personality or intention, he didn't run shit. And I think that's also why the relationship ultimately ran its course. Because my mom was running shit and women can't drive. So it's
running shit off a cliff.
Right. And it's like, and I'm like, yeah, it'd be certain time when shit going on, family function or conversations or just issues. I'd be like, yo, like, if there were just other men around, like there's just more men in these rooms.
The masculine energy.
Yeah, more masculine energy in these rooms, conversations and issues. Shit just wouldn't even go this way, really. And then also, we don't have a big family. There's also not even that many people.
Yeah.
It's just X amount of women just fucking talking in fucking circles and shit.
I feel like masculine men go where we respect it. So when you see a lot of these situations where it's like dominated by like women that want to be in control, typically it's like, think of Game of Thrones. It's a fight for that crown, for that seat. And a man, we're not gonna compete with a woman. So it's about understanding, like, all right, cool, I can just overthrow this situation, but at what cost? Is it going to be how much kickback, right? So let's say like if you had an uncle and your mom and them, you say they very outspoken, they got big personalities, and they like to run shit. And like that's their brother. So it's a different level of disrespect that might come behind him trying to step in. Me being a man and then presenting myself as the man of my family, I'm probably the most consistent man to show up to everything. I got a relationship with the kids and the adults, and I'm the baby son of my mom, the baby child of my mom. So a lot of my cousins older than me, the women and all that, to the point where like even the ones that work in the business with, they older than me. I had to get them to respect me and my masculinity by showing them like I'm really a man. And it started like younger, but at the same time, it was like, oh, that's my little cousin. And I remember even Thanksgiving, it was one of the situations where it was like one of my other cousins who, that's my cousin, like, but it's like she ain't like in the business or nothing with us. And she had like said something like on some disregarding what I was saying, like I'm a child. And you know, I just had to like laugh it off and then just recenter the conversation. But by the end of it, she realized like, oh no, like, damn, this nigga really. But it's like for most masculine men, it's just like I ain't got time to be dealing with disrespect. So my absence of say more than my words ever could, and it's not the same as being a bandit. It's literally like if y'all not gonna respect what I'm bringing to the table, I respect myself too much to sit here from a perspective of being a man of this family. Now, being a man of your own family is a little bit different, but that's why we won't deal with a woman that's not respectful towards, because it's like I'm not about to choose to deal with you and you disrespectful. Another thing, man, we often hear the term that say like, go where you celebrated, not tolerated, and I feel like, just to pivot quickly, people don't understand from that point. They typically think that it's just like a admiration thing. I think it's about going where people recognize your value. Because if you could be as masculine as a man as you want to be, if masculinity is not appreciated or respected in that space, they're going to always make you feel out of place for that. They're going to make your masculinity seem toxic. They're going to make it seem like you're trying to be controlling. They're going to make it seem like you're this big manipulator, because in reality, they don't appreciate your presence until it's needed in the way that they think it's needed. Oh, we need them to fix something. Oh, we need them to pay for something. Oh, it's danger. Call the man. But when it comes to day-to-day operations and structure, no, we got it. We don't need you for that. But it's like going where you celebrated, not tolerated, like that's a tolerable thing. You only calling me when you need me. But the celebrated part is like, no, we understand why you're here. We understand your value. We understand that you need it, and you will create a different structure than we are able to create. Although we can create some structure, the structure that you're going to bring is going to look different because it's a masculine and it's a manly structure. Another thing about it, we could just pivot in thinking about currency. Like currency is worth different in different places. So it's like what yen is worth there is different than what, you know, the dollar, the USD is worth here, or a peso, or whatever the case may be. And if you are yen trying to operate where they take pesos, it's like you valueless. And a lot of men find themselves in that predicament because you're trying to display your worth. Oh, I'm worth 100. It's like, not here. But if you go where you actually celebrate it, it's like, oh, they know what the value is. They know what they're getting from it. You know what you can get for it. And that's where a position and alignment becomes a real topic and a real thing that men have to understand. You could be dealing with a woman trying to make her see your value. And the same could be true. Women could be dealing with a man trying to make him see their value. But it's like, we don't accept your currency here. And it's the currency is the subjectivity of how people perspective work. Like, you want a man to respect your wholesomeness, but he only respect hoes. You want a woman to respect you being this provider, but she only respect independence. It's a conflict of interest. So you have to go where the wholesome meets the provider, and then they come together, and they don't bring the fucking host, the hoe, or the fucking the independence into that conversation. And the man shouldn't come in there talking about when he dealt with Miss Independent. The woman shouldn't come in there talking about when she dealt with the dog ass motherfucker that didn't want to commit. You got to realize that we are now in alignment with the currency, where though what I spend with you actually accounts for something, what you spend with me actually counts for something, and we're not just mismanaging each other, we actually being celebrated versus just being tolerated.
Yeah, so even exchange at that point.
Even exchange. That's what we call currency exchange at that point.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. For sure.
Back to relationships.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one day in the future, far into the future, maybe by the time, you know, my daughter's grown, we'll realize that marriage needs the concept needs some updating. Well, several updates. One of the small updates that can do a lot of benefit is license renewals. Same way, driver's license, same passports, whatever. Marriage license, I think they should have some type of updated thing. That, like, you know, after 5 years, 10 years, like, oh, this joint gonna expire, and do we still want to renew this? It should be just like, yo, it's done, null and void. We can just move on without any damage on any side. No alimony,
no divorce.
Yeah, it's just, it expired.
It expired. I ain't renew it.
It ends up to us to renew it.
That's fine. And
I think with that concept, it should be like, yo, like, let's have like an earnings report meeting. Let's talk about it. Yo, boardroom talk, or what's working, what's not working. Are we still in alignment? What's good? And I think we had that level of intentionality to the concept. It will put more onus on the people versus like, it being able to be manipulated along the way at any juncture. But no, this shit can expire at any point. Before it gets expiration dates, let's talk about it. And I think the fact that it doesn't just like we married is like, then after that, it's just we can do what we want with the timeline. it's just weird to me. But
like, who would stop somebody from getting to that point and then just saying, all right, I'm not doing nothing else?
Exactly. It's like, I got it now. I owe you no effort, no intentionality.
And if you try to leave me, I'm taking half.
Right. And more than that, half and plus type shit. But yeah, I think like those, I think, you know, intentionality is important with anything, but especially in relation. I think a lot of people don't realize that when you add a job, you have evaluation meetings, and you know, you have your fucking morning meet at your job, whatever. But like relationships, people don't realize outside of romance and the love and the sex, you need to have those conversations, like those check-ins. All right. What can I do better? What you can do better? Yeah. Should we be aiming for something by next year? 5 years from now, our current place good? Do we need a bigger space?
Yeah. I think I know in my relationship I've done that, right. And I've heard people that are married have done the milestone check-ins and kind of creating those different, like, you know, checkpoints of milestones, essentially. Like, all right, cool. Like, I don't know if they do it in terms of like, should we keep being married? But I think they just do it in terms of like the showing the growth. And it's because like the goal is to tie the knot, not untie the knot. So I think that's probably why that's the only pushback that you probably get for your renewal thing. Because like once you say, you know, tie this knot, it's like you're not supposed to untie the knot. Whatever. So it's like giving somebody that out. It's like, I think it's good. It's like the sports. It's like you got to keep playing for these contracts. You ain't about to just get a super max in their last forever. Like you can get a rookie deal, you can get a super max, and then you get vet minimum from this point on. And I'm not mad at that, but you know, I just think in marriage, you know, they look at it a little less objective, and they make it like, you know, it favors. You know, we know who it favor.
If it was a vote, would you vote for it?
Yeah. Because I believe in performance based. I'm okay with that. It's like, I believe in, yes, in 5 years, we should show up and say, am I still being the best husband I could be? Is she still being the best wife she could be? And of course, again, that's in theory. Right. But it's like, you know, it's like, well, what if we run into a stretch where she going through shit or you going through shit? Then evaluate how that was handled. You know, where did the respect go? Where did the love go? Did we get closer together? Did it drive us apart? What was the realizations? And I think, you know, even myself, I had to tell myself, don't be so quick to give up. That's why I was so proud of myself in my last relationship, because although it didn't go to marriage, I knew for a fact that I didn't give up mentally. I knew that once I did leave, it was because I saw no more. It was like, at this point, this is what it is, and this is what it was going to be, versus me feeling like I was getting challenged and I'm out. I would much rather be fucking with her because she's a little easier to handle. Or I'd rather be doing this because my friends outside, they get to do what they want. Or I'd rather be doing
this is new.
This is new. This is different. This is fresh. It's cookies. I'm tired of the apples. Like, it's like, nah, none of that ever crossed my mind when I talked about lack of desire. It was like, I knew that I wanted to make it work. However, I had to. I went to therapy. I worked on things. I remember in the beginning of it, you know, just being triggered by things that looked familiar, that, you know, I don't want to project. Let me take this to a therapist. Went to therapy for the whole entire relationship. So even by the end of my therapist, like, nope, I seen you try everything. I witnessed it. I watched it. You clean. And that was all the closure I need. I need no extra closure, because I'm like, as long as somebody could acknowledge my efforts, and of course it was me first, but having like, and it's not like I had a therapist that was like validating me. She wasn't on that. She vicious on self accountability, vicious on what did you do, only you. But she realized that we worked through everything that I was presenting. Yo, look, I be thinking this. Yo, these are the thoughts I have. This is bothering me. This is triggering me. This is this. And by the end of it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready for now. Anything that I walk myself into now, I understand that my capacity has grew. So it will only get more and more and more. So I'm performance based. I don't mind that. I don't mind having them check-ins.
And another thing with the check-in, I feel like anniversaries typically only are looked at as celebrations, which is great, of course, because you made it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think also it can be looked at as like
a
check-in. Like, all right, we made it, we a year in, we 2 years, we 5 years in. All right, again, it's great, we made it, but how did we get this last year? Like, you know, what can we do? What can we do better? What can we do different? How will the next year look?
That's why you got to appreciate a woman that's vocal in a respectful way, that know how to articulate herself, that know how to identify and assess what she could do plus what you could do. And you appreciate that, because as men, we want to get better. And so many times, it's so funny how subjective women are, it's selective and subjective. It's like, oh, I didn't want to say that because I don't want to bruise his ego. But you got no problem with calling him a BAN when you get mad. But you don't want to tell him that he could communicate in this way that'd be more receptive to you, or your sex life been a little dry because he's been doing the same position since you met him, or, you know, you would like to get this and that without it being a complaint. Right. Like, it's cool to bring it up when it's time. Like, why wait till the level of complaint? Why you wait until you fucking explode? You didn't let it bottle up to the point where the cap can't hold no more and it's explode. Now you never do this, you never do that. You should have been. It's like, these could have been in the moment check-ins. Like, yo, I feel like I think we, and then like, well, what I do be doing that. Y'all be thinking y'all doing that, but it don't really be that. And if you done it so perfect and he just didn't it, then he deserves the explosion, and hopefully he assess and adjust himself moving forward. But typically it's not like that. It's never presented in a way that's conducive to the growth of the relationship. It's always presented in a way like you're not doing enough. It's always presented in a way where it's like, instead of saying, yo, you never take me out, you could literally say, I would like to go out a little bit more. Instead of saying you never call me and check in and say I love when I hear from you. Instead of saying, I feel like you don't care about me, say I feel like we need to get closer. It's ways to say what you need to say without it being a complaint. And that's why I say be a compliment, not a complication to your relationship. Like compliment it, like make it a thing where it's a pleasant space to be in and operate in. So when you course correcting and making these adjustments, the man that you're dealing with can take it as that as well as then present his without you creating complications by everything being determined by separation. Everything feeling like y'all on y'all last leg or y'all at y'all wits end. And also just understand that you could be a compliment to what a motherfucker trying to do. As men, we dreamers, we visionaries. If you know that you want to be independent, independently find a role to operate within a man's space. Even if it's saying, I don't want you working in my business, but I need you to help me in this area, play that role to perfection. Don't be a complication. You never want to work with me. I'm good at that. Why you gotta hire this? You're being a complication. Just be a compliment. All right. See, one thing about us as men growing in team sports, we understood that you ain't gonna always get playing time. We understood that sometimes it's gonna be somebody better for the job than you, and we understood that you got to answer when called upon. You could feel like you better than a starter. It don't matter. If a coach see the starter as a more fit for the system, they got the minutes. You don't. That starter go down. You got to be willing to step up. You're like, now you want me. Now you need me. No, you gonna be like, it's my time.
Really, coach?
You gonna be like, it's my time to kind of show up and show you what I've been trying to say. You play well enough, objectively speaking. You stay in the lineup, but it just typically don't work like that. It's like y'all create the separation where it's like, oh, why can't I? Why you don't? And it's like, it really don't work like that. It really comes down to being able to answer when called upon and being that compliment. Don't complicate things. You keep shit simple. Don't be the reason that your relationship having problems. Let him, do what he got to do what you got to do. And, problems can be mitigated at a high level.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can land it there, sir.
Yeah. Where we at? That's a cool then. All right, let's go here. Hey, man, look, man, this was pleasant. You know what I'm saying? This was pleasant nonetheless. Always. And as always, we want to try to get 1% better every single day in every single way. And we want these conversations to start here. We don't want them to stop here. We touch on a lot of topics, whether it be personal experience, whether it be philosophy and theory, whether it be perspective, or sometimes it be projections. Whatever the case may be, we create these pockets of conversation to start them here for y'all to take them and make them broader. Take them to your group chat. Take them to your family. Take them to your friends. Take them to your spouses. Take them to whoever needs to hear it. But most importantly, take it to yourself. And I want y'all to really understand that. And the reason we tell to take them to these different places because as y'all let people know, what do? We grow. We grow. And it's our goal to grow as well. And we want these conversations to grow, and we want to grow with the conversations. As we are doing the work and bringing the work to y'all, we want y'all to do the work and take the work to others. And that's how we can create better people amongst our people, right? And make sure y'all go shop with the one and only her fantasy box, as I told y'all in the beginning. Ladies, you want to get your girlfriends a gift? Want to do something nice for yourself? Fellas, you want to look like the guy? This is all of the shit that you can do just by simply shopping with her fantasy box. You know what I mean? With that being the case, man, you already know where y'all can find me at with WSC. Oh, go grab my books on the wolfhasspoken.com. Cheating is not cheating, and Art of Accountability. Then y'all can get me on Instagram at WolfWSC. You can get the network at wolfnetwork.wsc. Where can they find you, Mr. Q?
Ryan Q Live, as in the right side on QUE Live.
And y'all can make sure y'all get with my guy Ricky B. Philly. You know what I'm saying? And as far as then being able to watch, make sure y'all watch it on YouTube. The Wolf Network is the channel. The Wolf Has Spoken is the podcast. And on all audio platforms is the Wolf Has Spoken podcast. Let's run the fucking numbers up, man. Let's go here. Till next time, as always, the Wolf Has Spoken. Let's get it.